So this three train was going back and forth, and at some point, the train conductor was saying, somebody's smoking. I was waiting for them to train from somebody must have been smoking in another car. But how would the train conductor, you know, because they have spy cameras, because they always try to frame you up as smoking and bathroom, you know. So this was some hours ago. I did it to me at the Q train, Decaf Avenue. I was just in the bathroom and the security guy came inside. I could smell smoke, I could see smoke, and I started recording the smoke. And they brought the police and were pretending that there was smoke. So they said they can just lie on you and get you killed, dead to put you in a hotel. So they framed me up as crazy in 2019 and left me in the psychiatric ward. You know, so my mother's daughters also, my mother's like a part of it, like a black American narcotic gang that killed people for money. As soon as me and my mother stood there and white people for a second, me and my mother said, and sometimes they'll call the police and block them. So I'm talking to you can see the space. It's going to blow up. Bad. I've been homeless for 15 years now. Bully me, say I'm using my time. One of the people I put my bag said, blocking the figure. But it's illegal to put in your bag as a chair, blocking the chair. You know, you can put your bag here, you know, by the door. You know, there's a space between the door and my back, so there's no blocking. You know, and there's ample space. You know, that, Sharon, you know. You know, tied my bag to my chair. So I'm a Nigerian and they're bullying me, calling the police on me for no reason at all. Like Diallo that the police mistakenly killed, they claimed they mistakenly killed him with 40 bullets. They were trying to arrest a black American, but it was this Diallo they killed, I think in Harlem here. So this was going on. Under this Trump is citing a lot of xenophobia, and a lot of people are just jumping. You know, foreigners, especially are more vulnerable since I'm out here. A lot of foreigners are in hiding. They don't really come outside because, you know, but I have no choice. I've been homeless for 15 years. So I'm out here. So during the last Trump administration, I was being attacked every day. And they arrested me, went and locked me up in the psychiatric ward, stole everything I had from me. You know, at that time my mother had just been killed, so that was the only person that would have fought for me. She had a US passport. So they saw I was really out here. You know, so I think I'm planning to do it again. You know, they choked me in Brooklyn, the police arrested me for no reason, for just being out here. Now they said the immigration is now saying the NYP should resign and come and join the immigration. So, you know, now they're involving the train service. Even Trump sent the head of transportation, Sean Duffy, and he said he wants them to start arresting homeless. Says the homeless are shitholes. I criticize this Trump a lot, you know, because my mother was a U.S. citizen. I have a green card, so I criticize his policy. So somebody must have told him that's a homeless African criticizing you. So he sent his transportation secretary Sean Duffy this year. So they need to start arresting all these homeless. They're garbage, and since then the MTA workers have joined it, wanting to arrest me. During the last Trump term, 2017. You know, I had my green card, my mother had just been killed. So I was criticizing this Trump, and before you know, the NYPD came and jumped me, went and locked me up in the psychiatric hospital, took my green card, took all my money, everything I had, all my luggage, just like this. And they took me to the NYU psychiatric hospital. Framed me as crazy. They said the head of that hospital is Trump's family friend. So they're planning to do it again. You know, that even having a green card doesn't protect you. They said now the majority of people Trump is arresting are people with green card. You know, So, and they also have a lot of things to cover up because the police took my home 15 years ago. Me and my mother was staying in the basement apartment, and they came and removed us under that Bloomberg, who's a Jewish American mayor, and it was turning New York into like Israel, whereby, in Israel, I heard they abuse the Arabs. They don't like them stay in Jerusalem. They move them to Gaza. So under Bloomberg in 2010, they were harassing blacks, kicking us out of New York City. The mass eviction. Me and my mother was staying in the basement apartment. They brought the police to remove us. Saying New York City doesn't allow people to stay in basement apartment. But they have to go through a court process to evict you. And so there was a guy called Eric Garner. He told me he was going to help me. He saw me like this. And within weeks, the police went and choked him dead. As soon as I met him on Bay Street and door. And those police walked away free because they didn't let me testify in court. They paid his family $5.9 million. And that was that. So, after that, my mother said her daughters were part of like a narcotic gang. They were trying to kill her. And I think somebody put a hit on my mother. Yeah, they put a hit on my mother and me also, so as to bury the Eric Garner's case, because I was the living witness, and they believed they took my mother out, I wouldn't survive, because I was born a male, I'm not a woman, so I was a transsexual foreigner, and also I used to be very ashamed of coming outside because I used to have my eyes crossed. It's not really apparent, but sometimes it becomes more crossed. So I went to a doctor. She was a Russian doctor on Staten Island, and I told her sometimes my eye is crossed. Social situation is very awkward and crossed. And she told me, I can't really see your eyes as crossed. I said, sometimes it comes on and off. So she told me, I think you're just imagining that your eyes crossed. I'm going to diagnose you with delusional disorder. She was like a Russian psychiatrist. I don't think she speaks English that good. I was like, please, send me to an eye professional, And she was like, no. She was like, I don't see your eye as crossed. I said, it comes on and off. I said, I did the research. Sometimes you can have intermittent cross eyes. Strabismus, and she was like, no, you're just imagining that your eyes crossed. I can see it. So she must have mistakenly misdiagnosed me, because of my cross eyes. She misdiagnosed blacks a lot, But I went to another doctor who was an eye doctor at the SUNY School of Optometry, and that doctor was a ophthalmologist, and so that he had to use this microscope to check my eyes, so that my eye muscles go out of focus a lot, So he said I had intermittent strabismus, But soon after that, my mother's daughter, then soon after that, me and my mother was homeless after I was misdiagnosed as delusional. So my mother took me to Pennsylvania, and her daughters lied on me that I was crazy about to attack them and got me locked up in a mental hospital in Pennsylvania. That's 2001. So my mother's daughters, they have American passport, and my mother said they've always been very unruly, as kids, and even the hospital in Pennsylvania didn't believe me. So we're going to keep you here, and I had to come back to New York for my immigration court case. And my mother's daughter was playing with the hospital. Said, look, I didn't have an immigration court case. I was just imagining I had an immigration court case. So I called my lawyer in New York to call the hospital in Pennsylvania, and I didn't really have an immigration court case. Before the hospital had to apologize to, and before they released me, they said they didn't know my mother's daughter was just lying. So I believe this is the reason why this police believe they can kill me and get away with it. So they're telling people to lie on me, because when my mother brought me here from Nigeria, I went to a eye doctor here on Staten Island. I had cross eyes, and I said to I went to she was a regular doctor, And I went to her and I told her I had cross eyes. I needed glasses. And she told me, I can't see your cross eye. I can't see your eyes. But I said, it comes on and off. And she was like, what? I'll just diagnose you as imagining you have cross eye. I said, please don't do that. But yeah, I'll just, So they had me misdiagnosed as crazy. They said they misdiagnosed all blacks as crazy in America. So the misdiagnosis they gave me as crazy, and then I went to a real eye doctor at State University of New York for the Second Street School of Optometry, and he saw that I did have cross eye. He checked my eye under the X-ray, and he gave me glasses and stuff. But since they misdiagnosed me as crazy, as soon as my mother brought me from Nigeria, so they've been trying to kill me in America. My friend Arigona that was here after the police took me in my mother's home in 2010, I saw a guy, Arigona, on the street, and he saw me with my bags. It was an activist on Staten Island, so he asked me what happened, and I told him. So I told the police evicted me and my mother wrongfully from a basement apartment. So he told me what's going to happen. Within a few weeks, the police went and beat him up and killed him. So I'm the only living witness that would show, he was wrongfully killed. Because they killed him right where I met him, on Bay Street and Victory Boulevard. At that time I was suing the police for taking my home. So for 15 years now I've been on the street. Nobody would help me. The lawyers there wouldn't help me. So because I have a misdiagnosis, I was having a cross eye. I went to a doctor in America on Staten Island, the Russian doctor, and she said, she can't really see my eye as cross. I said, yeah, it's very. It's very benign. It's not badly crossed, but I said it's just my eye goes out of focus. So she misdiagnosed me as crazy. Imagine that I have cross. Then I went to a real eye doctor, and then they saw that I did have a cross. But she already put crazy in my medical record. So I get jumped a lot. My mother also got killed. So she has some daughters that act real bad, and they framed my mother up as crazy, or my mother wasn't crazy. I got her locked up in Bellevue Hospital and got her killed. So there's a scourge of misdiagnosing black as crazy in America and killing black. So they've killed my mother that way also, and they told me I'm going to be next. So so they call their police to harass me all the time. If I dare use the bathroom, they'll call the police on me that I'm crazy, acting crazy in the bathroom. They say they kill blacks for fun right now in America. So the international community has to investigate this. They are misdiagnosing blacks as crazy and killing blacks in America. They did it to my mother, misdiagnosed as crazy. Our daughters were born here, so they were part of the gang. And my mother was telling me they were harassing her. I went and locked my mother up in Bellevue Mental Ward. And my mother was so angry she died in 2015. And when my mother brought me from Nigeria, I have cross eye. So I went to a doctor on Staten Island. She was a Russian doctor, and she told me she's not, she doesn't see me as having cross eyes. But she's not an eye doctor. I told her, okay, if you're from the eye doctor, she's like, no, I'll just diagnose you as crazy. And since then, they put a diagnosis in my record. So my mother has some daughters that are really bad. So they also got me locked up in the mental ward. Framed me up as crazy, so I was attacking them, in Pennsylvania. And I had an immigration case around that time, 2001. So I've been misdiagnosed as crazy. I had an immigration case, so they had me locked up in Mercy Psychiatric Hospital in Pittsburgh, Liberty Avenue. So I was new in America, and when the daughters, she had some bad acting kids, they went to juvenile detention. My mother placed them with a white family when they came here from Nigeria in 1989 or in 1990. As soon as they got to America, they beat up the white family and to put them in juvenile detention. So they've always been acting real bad as kids. Were very aggressive in Nigeria also. So my mother brought them to America to stay with a white family in Pennsylvania. Within a year of arriving in America, they beat up the white family and to put them in juvenile detention. So now they're out of control. My mother now they're moving with a narcotic gang in Pennsylvania. So what they're doing now is there's something called in America called ghetto lottery, that you can set somebody up for the police to kill them and then cash in on the money. So my mother's gang, they're setting me up with the police. I'm homeless, so anywhere I go, the police will invade it. So anytime I try to use the bathroom, the police will come. I say, "Oh, you're crazy! You're causing a mess!" I try to kill me in the bathroom. So in case I get killed, this is what this is about. So there's something in America called ghetto lottery, where you can set somebody up to be killed and cash in. So I don't have any other family, you know. I was born a male, I'm not a woman. So we gays, we normally don't really be having families. I'm 43, but I'm childless. I'm not married to anybody. So in America, they see you as a loser that should just be killed. So my mother's daughters are trying to kill me with a gang. So the MTA also is joining in. And if I try to use the bathroom, the police will come to the bathroom and say, "Oh, you're crazy. You're causing a mess in the bathroom." So they've been jumping me. The last time the police arrested me, they knocked me on the ground. So I was crazy, choked me, almost choked me. But I was lucky people were around me in Brooklyn on the street. And they said, "Please leave this person alone." And they took me to the psych ward. So they're killing immigrants like crazy in America. My mother's been killed. So, so there's a narcotic gang working with the NYPD to kill blacks, So as soon as I was on this train, the reason why I'm recording, I was on this train around 3 a.m. And I noticed the train conductor was saying, "Somebody's smoking. I could smell smoke. Stop smoking. I'm going to call the police, arrest you." And there was nobody on the train with me. I'm like, how would even the conductor know if somebody's smoking, unless they have spy cameras? So anytime I try to use the bathroom, I'm a gay person, they always call the police and say I'm smoking. I'm not smoking. So I think that they're trying to kill me and give the money to, and claim that the police use too much force. Like Diallo, they shoot him with 40 bullets. He was from West Africa, like me also. So I think that's what they want to do. They want to kill me and give the money to the gang my mother's daughter is part of, and share, So they're killing people for money. I caught out the MTA president. I saw him on the street. His name is Demetrius Krishlo. I said, "Please, you gotta help me." And he didn't give a care in the world. So in case I get killed, this MTA president has to be arrested. I saw him on the street. I said, "Please, I recognize you." I read the newspaper. I said, "I'm a Nigerian. I'm stuck here on the street. My mother, who had a U.S. passport, was helping me, has been killed. She was framed up as crazy, killed in 2015. I said, my mother had an apartment, we used to live there, and the police evicted me and my mother in 2010 wrongfully. Eric Garner was helping me and my mother with the court papers. The police have killed Eric Garner. I said, if the people are not being killed left and right, and they told me I'm going to be next, I would say, "You've turned America into a war zone." I sent him an email like that with video proof. He doesn't respond to me. So in case I'm killed, this MTA president needs to be arrested as an accessory to a murder. So they terrorize me anywhere I go. Don't let me use the bathroom. I also have diarrhea. This is I take medication for my diarrhea. And sometimes the medication leaves me. So this is the medication I take for my diarrhea. So I'm not crazy. I'm not making anything up. Just avoid me going to the bathroom. They terrorize me in the bathroom. They said traditionally they don't let blacks use the bathroom in America since slavery. You're supposed to use the bathroom on the street, like an animal. So I'm Nigerian. I'm not an animal. I don't have to use the bathroom on the street. So they say, you keep going to the bathroom, we're going to kill you. So they're killing blacks for using the bathroom in America as an immigrant also, So this is what I buy. I buy this at Target store. Is the anti-diarrhea medicine, and I have to binge on it. Just sometimes it leaves me constipated. I won't be able to use the bathroom for a whole month when I take this drug. My stomach will be rigid. I won't be able to walk. So this is torture. So they're killing me softly in America. They need to arrest them, and the MTA president, this is what they're doing to us.